So my name is Snehith. I'm 17 and I'm a senior at Prosper High School. So I joined Teenr kind of late in my summer of junior year. And I think it was sort of out of the, fear of the unknown, right? We didn't know about college because we were immigrants. We didn't know about the process in the United States. So we joined out of fear to have someone guide us, right? But it was more than just sort of that guidance about college. It was also sort of a guidance for as a person, right? And even though I joined kind of late, I was able to learn more about myself, and then of course also the process of the college applications. It's not like they don't help you with that. They do both. So they're able to help me with my applications. They're able to help me figure out what I want to do more. Like I had an idea, but more, right? If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had that summer program at UTD where I learned that I'm interested in quantum physics and computing at the same time. And quantum computing is something that interests me, just as an example, right? So they're more than just mentoring. So I really enjoyed my experience with them because of that, because it didn't just feel like, okay, they give you this work to do that work, and this is the college application process, blah, blah, blah. It felt more than that. I was able to connect with the kids through my social initiative. I was able to connect with other peers in their programs like immigrant and everything like that. My best experience, it was definitely creating my social initiative, my own social initiative, because I was able to do what I like doing, right? I was able to teach kids and share my passion of computer science with them. And they gave me the skills I needed to do that. So I like how they take what you like to do or something that you want to do, and they give you the skills, connections, everything that you need to achieve that. I was expecting some, just some application help, some essay help for college. I was basically just expecting, here's how you get into college. That's it, right? Just sort of a do this, apply to college, get those letters back. But it was obviously a lot more than that. But that was my original expectations, just to get ready for college. Before college application season, it was about every 2 weeks. And then when it was time to start applying to those colleges, it was about every week. I think having a college and career advisor, especially when you're it's a little bit earlier, right? Freshman, sophomore year. I have a younger brother and he's a freshman, and he still doesn't really know what he wants to do yet, which is okay. I didn't know at that age either. So I think having that college and career advisor will help you figure that out. Will give you tools to figure that out. Because it's kind of hard when you're young. There's a lot of things. You look at all these things that you can be and you wonder, which one, right? So they kind of help with that. And then when you're a little bit older, they obviously especially for immigrants like me and my parents and everything, right? It can be scary because it's new. So having someone there telling you that this is how it is, this is what you need to do, right? It's a lot easier. Yes, I did my research, but even then, there was things they were telling me that I didn't know. And I thought I knew most of it, but they were telling me a lot of things I didn't know. They're helpful if you don't know the process and if you're rather young and you don't know what you want to do yet. So when it comes to recommending it to high schoolers, if you're on younger, you don't know what you want to do, the career aspect of it is really helpful. And then even if you're older, even if you think you know the process, there's things that they'll teach you that you never expected. And then also with writing essays and things, I noticed, I'm not trying to brag, I've noticed a lot of my essays were better than some of my peers, right? Because they helped me with that, right? They told me how to write better essays. So that's not a bragging thing, that's just something that they taught me, right? So I think I'd recommend it to my friends because a lot of them, they think they know a lot, and I thought I knew a lot, but they really do teach you a lot of things about the process. They teach you about how to write. And since I'm kind of friends with people around my age, I know most of them know what they want to do, but seeing my brother and seeing my brother's friends, I see that a lot of them don't know what they want to do. So I think for them, the young kids, it would help them figure out what they want to do. Some skills that I gained from Teenr and then their programs was mainly with social initiatives and business, because that's what they wanted me to really focus on. So I learned how to start an initiative, how to plan it out, how to get people interested in the initiative, right? How to get, I don't really want to say customers because that's not what I do, but for a more simpler term, customers, right? People that want to invest in you, how to show that you're different from other people, how to show off that wow factor about not just your product, but about you as well, right? In our applications and our essays. So talking about that, they also gave me writing skills, right? I didn't realize that I had like writing. I didn't think I was a writer, right? But they helped me out with that, and I think I can confidently say now that I'm a good writer. So they gave me those skills. They gave me skills on how to talk to people as well, not just through the immersion program and everything, but by helping them out by volunteering, having people come join Teenr or get interested in Teenr. I got practice talking to people, how to pitch not just my ideas, but other people's ideas. So my academic and personal goals. Academically, I wanted to get into college, obviously. I was old now. I'm a senior. I want to go to college. I want that next step, right? So thanks to them, I was able to get accepted to the majority of my colleges. And the colleges that I'm waiting for, I think I'm going to get accepted in as well. Not just that, I also got financial aid. And I think that's also thanks to them as well. And other than college, like I mentioned in the summer, I was able to get a summer program. And I was able to figure out what I wanted to do because of that. They helped me get connected with people to do an AI internship. So they gave me a lot of academic goals as well, personal goals. I feel like those academic goals and personal goals kind of go together. I wanted to go to college, so that's also a personal goal for me. I wanted to do something more in the summer. That was also a personal goal for me. But going away from academics, they also helped me create a charity with this younger boy named Arya. It was called Hoops for Hunger. And I was able to combine like helping people and my passion for basketball. And I was thinking about doing something like that, but I just never knew how to do it. So they helped me achieve that as well. So they helped me achieve a lot of my personal and academic goals. I applied to about 8 colleges. I was gonna apply to more, but I realized that I didn't want to go out of state. So they were all in-state colleges. And I have got accepted to 6 of them, and I'm waiting on 2 of them. So I applied to UTD, University of North Texas, UT Austin, UT Arlington, University of Houston, Texas Tech, yeah. And then I got accepted to all of them except A&M and Austin. I'm waiting for A&M and Austin. And then when it comes to financial aid and scholarship amount, so far, there's some that I'm still waiting on. But so far, at this moment, UNT gave me $6,000 per year. So for 4 years, that'd be 24. And then UTD, a similar scholarship, they gave me $5,000. So for 4 years, it'd be $20,000. And then I know Tech hasn't released it yet, but Tech will give me, based on my scores and grades, about $9,000 and $10,000 a year. And then the other schools, I'm not exactly sure. So when it comes to applying, right, that time, it's really stressful, right? And I think not knowing is part of that stress. But thanks to Teenr, they kind of break it down, right? They give you small goals. Instead of thinking about this big goal of this big application, oh, I need to apply to all these colleges, they break it down, right? They say, okay, today we'll start with just the common application, fill out the common details. Today we'll work on this essay, and then we'll work on this part. So they like break it down, and it becomes less stressful because now instead of these big goals, right, you have these little goals. Okay, by the end of this weekend, I need to finish this essay. Or by the end of this week, I need to finish this section. So by breaking it down, they make it less stressful. And then they also explain the stuff to you. So now you're not like in the lost. So the application process for me wasn't super stressful because they were there for me. They were there breaking it down, making it less scary. So the Young Innovator Program was what really, really helped me create my own social initiative. So I was able to meet like-minded people, right? And I was able to hear about their ideas. I was able to see what type of things they're doing, right? And discuss with them about my ideas and hear about their ideas, right? I mean, there's an old saying, 2 minds are better than 1, but we had about 15, 20 minds. So it was really, really helpful. And then they teach you about it, right? So they tell you, hey, this is how you start planning it out. This is what makes a good social initiative. This is what makes a bad social initiative. Right? They start teaching you these things. And all those things made me start thinking about, okay, what do I have that's different? What do I want to do? And that's when my idea was born. I thought about the way that computer science was taught in school. And I was like, I remember thinking that that's super boring. That's not what computer science is. Computer science is supposed to be creative. But kids don't realize that because all they are given is like 3 lines that print hello world, right? There's no creativity in that. So I thought I want to teach in a different way, in a way that combines their passions with that computer science. So maybe I can have more people like me that are passionate in computer science. So I'd have a student and I'd have the first class, I'd just talk to them a little bit and I'd say, okay, what are they interested in? If it's a kid, I had a kid who was really interested in cricket, right? He likes sports. So I started off, with there's obviously, you need to have that background information. So in that boring kind of stuff, instead of saying print hello world, we'll say something like print Virat Kohli's like jersey number, right? Just small things like that get them more interested. And then once they learn the basics, we can start working on things. Right now, he's working on a project where we're creating not really a cricket mini game, but kind of like graphics of like the cricket field. So we'll have like the grass, we'll have the stumps, everything like that. So now he's learning about graphics, but he doesn't feel like he's learning something boring because he's doing it with something he likes. So I was able to do that because they were able to teach me the skills that I need to do that. So I was able to, like I said, I was able to discuss with like-minded peers. I was able to get ideas. I was able to see what they're doing. I was able to discuss what I was doing and see what works, see what not work. Also, they would have kind of like these assignments where you would like show what progress you're doing already, and they'll give you feedback. They'll say, hey, this would work, this would not work. So now it's not like I'm doing it by myself. They're there with me, guiding me. So for example, they helped me make my flyer. They gave me ideas on how to get more students, right? So they help you through the process. They help you get people. They help you explain your social initiative to other people. They help you plan it out. They help you create media, right? Like the flyers and everything. They give you ideas. They gave me an idea to make a social media account for the initiative. They helped me make a website, right? These are all ideas that I wouldn't have done originally. Even if I had this idea on my own, I wouldn't have made a website. I would think, oh, it's too much work. Or I wouldn't have made a flyer. I would have just asked my mom, hey mom, I want to do this. Can you get me a couple of students, right? I wouldn't have gone out to my boss and helped her, hey, can you give me a few students? In that case, they helped me. They told me, okay, this is what you should say to your boss. So they helped me through a lot of the process. And without them, I don't think it would have gone as big as it gotten. So when it came to creating my idea, right, coming up with it, they helped me out we had a little meeting. I remember this. We had a meeting at one of their houses, and we just kind of wrote down some things that I enjoy, things that I want to do, right? And I realized that I like to teach. I had a job where I would teach kids, and I realized I like doing that. You know, when you're teaching a hard concept and they finally get it and they have that, I get it now, like that feeling is nice, right? And then obviously I like computer science. That's why I'm studying it. So they were like, okay, why don't you try combining that? And I thought about it, and I realized that I don't like the way that computer science is taught. So that brainstorming that we had with them, with Teenr, and is what really helped me create that idea. And then after that, it helped me create the flyer, everything like that. They helped me through the entire process. So I was in a mixture in engineering program, and the mentor, Mr. Karthik, he was very helpful. I met him at an MTS event, and before that also, and when he was teaching us engineering, I liked the way he taught. It was similar to the way I teach. You know, it wasn't just like he'd make it interesting. So I respected him for that already. And then of course he knew what he was talking about. He was talking about AI, and that was something I was interested in. So that was, I already had a lot of respect for him. And then meeting him in person, I was able to talk about some of the things. I was able to talk about my experiences. He gave me some advice. And he was very kind, respectful. He was very, he was very kind. And he was able to give me some advice about what I was doing. So it's not just him, everyone in Teenr. They're all very, very helpful. They're very kind and respectful. You can ask them about basically anything, and they'll help you out with it. But specifically for me, Mr. Karthik, he was, I had a lot of respect for him, and he was very helpful. So I did an AI internship with them. It was a lot of fun. So they gave us this little project. We had these little groups, and it was more of it wasn't just sort of a sit in the meeting, listen to what he says. It was a hands-on kind of thing. We sat in a meeting, 20-ish minutes. He talked about some things, but then it was just kind of a go do your thing. Here's the information, go do your thing. And he would let us free, and then we would come back. He would talk about all this, submissions that he got. He'd give us advice and everything. And then once again, let us free, do your thing. So it wasn't just a sit in the meeting for an hour and then he talks for an hour, right? We did things, right? So I like that way of teaching. It was similar to my way of teaching. The same thing that I was preaching about, not just putting something in their head over and over again, letting them do something. So I like that. I really liked that experience. It was really helpful for me. When it came to showcasing myself when I was applying to colleges, they really helped me out with my sort of activities, because all the college sees is a sheet of paper or some PDF document. They don't see you. You have to show them you in that paper sheet or that PDF document. So they showed me how to sort of format my activities, right? The 10 activities that I do, how to format my additional informations, how to format my writing and everything to showcase who I am. So they would give me some tips that would say, hey, instead of writing it like this, write it like this. It'll show that you are tenacious or that you're someone that works hard, right? They take your good points that maybe you don't know about, right? And then they will showcase that. They'll show you how to show that. So sometimes they'll tell me, hey, if you say this, it'll seem like you're like this. I'm like that. And they're like, yeah, you're like that. So they even help you figure things out. So I've said this a little bit before, but I think that students should start a little bit earlier than I did. I started the summer of my junior year. And at that point, there's not really much discovering for me. It's more of a go through it. But even then, I was able to discover things about myself, right? So when you're young, and I mentioned my younger brother, when you're young, you don't know. It's kind of scary, right? I remember being a freshman and thinking, whoa, I'm in high school now, right? There's a lot now. So I think having this program will be really helpful for them. It'll help them discover not just like test scores or academics, which is of course important, but beyond that, who are they as a person? What do they want to do in life beyond that? That they help you figure those things out. The very first assignment they gave me was basically like sort of a steps of life. Every 10 years, where do you see yourself? So it's beyond college. They say career and college prep, right? Career prep as well. Life prep, sort of. So I think it's good for them to start young. There's more discovery for them. I didn't get that because I started later. So I was waiting for a question about my venture because I can talk about that for a while. What's unique about it, right? I kind of briefly explained it, but I didn't like the way that they taught computer science. I don't like the way people teach in school in general, but specifically computer science because that's something I like a lot, right? The way they teach it, right, and I've been in a lot of computer science classes, it's just sort of a, hey, here's an assignment, it needs to print this, do it, right? That is not computer science. That's not computer science. Like in my own projects, I've created games, I've created graphics, right? I've created simulations. That's computer science. Creation is computer science, not some do an assignment. But if these kids don't know that, right? I was lucky. I got to see computer science differently when I was younger. But these kids don't see that. They see an assignment, right? My brother doesn't like computer science because all he's seen is assignments. Now, maybe that's just not his thing, but at the same time, I want to be able to at least give them the option of learning in a different way. So what I did was I would have each student come up to me and we would have a meeting, and that meeting, all we would do is just kind of talk. We would talk about 20, 30 minutes. I just asked them about themselves. Some kids like art. Okay, then we'll go down the graphics route. Some kids like math. Like some kids are nerds like me, right? They like math, they like data. I have this one student and she was amazing. She would come to class with like 3 or 4 projects ready already. She would go beyond the syllabus. And one day she came to class and she was like, I was talking to my sister and she likes to do things with data, really. And I noticed that she likes data. So with some students, I can go more of a, I guess, standard route, I want to say. And with her, I just taught her data science and she enjoyed that. It doesn't always have to be something super crazy like with that kid with the cricket, right? It can just be something that they like. I try to find what they like and I tailor it to them so they can at least get that passion in computer science. And then if they like computer science more, then maybe they'll continue doing that. If they don't like it, they'll find something else. But I want them to realize that computer science is not just submitting assignments. It's more than that. It's like creating things.